Hello everyone, welcome to Ezugo STEM Hub. Today's question is an Olympiad mathematics question, and it says that if x raised to power x plus y is equals to y raised to power 12 and y raised to power x plus y is equals to x raised to power 3, find the values of x and y. One of my fans actually sent me this question. Let's see how well we can break down this question, okay? Okay, for this particular question, you cannot equate the powers on any of the, okay, let's call this equation 1 and we'll call this equation 2, right? Okay, we cannot equate any of the powers. Reason is this: the bases are not the same, right? The bases are also not the same. So what do we do next? The best thing to do in this particular question now is to take the logarithm of both sides in each of the equations. So if I take the log of both sides in equation 1, I'll be left with log x raised to power x plus y is equals to log y raised to power 12. Breaking this down, I'll have that x plus y log x is equals to 12 log y. How did I get that? Remember our rule of log that says that log b raised to power a is equals to a log b. So this is the law I applied here. This is a power, it comes and multiply the logarithm of this. Same with this. So I can call this equation 3. I can also apply the same logarithm on equation 2. So I'll be left with log y raised to power x plus y is equals to log x raised to power 3. Right? Applying the rule of log, which is this, I'll have x plus y log y is equals to 3 log x, right? I'll call this equation 4. Then from here, I can actually say equation 3 divided by equation 4, right? Okay, yeah. So I would have x plus y log x divided by x plus y log y is equals to 12 log y divided by 3 log x. Can you see where we are going to now? This we cancel this, and also 3 here is 1, 3 here is 4. So I'll be left with log x divided by log y is equals to 4 log y over log x, right? Okay, from here I can cross and multiply, right? Let's cross and multiply. So if I cross and multiply here, it means that this will multiply this and this will multiply this, right? Let's go over to this other side of the board. So log x multiplied by log x will give me log x all squared. I'm left with log x all squared, which is equal to 4 log y multiplied by log y will also give me 4 log y all squared, right? Okay, from here I can take the square root of both sides to get log s. So if I take the square root of both sides, if I take the square root of log x all squared, the square will cancel the square, right? I'll be left with log x, which is equals to, if I take the square root of this, the right hand side, square root of 4 will give me 2, and square root of log y all squared will give me log y. Okay, if you take a look at the right hand side, I can still convert this back to this. If log b raised to power a is equals to a log b, It means that 2 log y would be equals to log y raised to power 2, right? So let me turn that to log x is equals to log y raised to power 2. So from here, log can cancel log. So therefore, I have that x is equals to y squared. This x is equals to y squared is a very important equation for this particular question. So what will I do now? I will substitute x equals to y squared into any of the equations. Let's use equation 1. Okay, so that means substituting x equals to y squared into equation 1. What that means is this: anywhere in equation 1 I see x, I'll replace that with y squared. So we have x, I'll replace this with y squared raised to the power of x, I'll replace it with y squared plus y, which will give me y raised to the power of 12, right? This I can still rewrite this as y raised to the power 2 is the same thing, is equals to y raised to the power 12. From here now, you will notice something. What I said we couldn't do at the beginning of this class was that we cannot equate the powers here because the bases are not the same. But if you take a look at this now, the bases are now the same. So since the bases are the same here, I can equate the powers, right? So equating the powers means that 2 multiplied by y squared plus y is equals to 12, right? Can divide both sides by 2. I divide here by 2 and I also divide here by 2. 2 will cancel 2, right? I'll be left with y squared plus y is equals to 12 divided by 2 will be 6. You can see a power of 2, right? That means this particular question has led us to a quadratic equation if I move this one over to the left hand side. So I'll be left with y squared plus y minus 6 is equals to 0. So what we have to do is to solve this quadratically. So let's clean some part of this board and solve that quadratically, right? So if there's any part of this question that is confusing to you, you can take the video back and go play it again so that you understand each step. Okay, this is my duster. So let me clean, let's say from here, because you can actually take the video back so you can understand any step that is confusing. So let me solve this one. I can demarcate this because that's a question. So I have y squared plus y minus 6 is equals to 0. Remember, factorization method. You do the first term times the last term. First term times last term will give me minus 6y squared. So what are the two factors that once you add them you get plus y, and once you multiply them you get minus 6y squared? If you take a look at this, you will notice that that will give me plus 3y and minus 2y. Plus times minus will give me minus. 3 times 2 is 6. Y times y is y squared. So that will give me minus 6y squared, right? And plus 3y minus 2y will give me plus y. Are we together? So I can replace this middle term with plus 3y and minus 2y. Okay? If you are having a hard time getting the factors of this or using this factorization method, you could use the formula methods that says minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. You could get the answer faster, but I choose this method. Okay, so this is y squared plus 3y minus 2y minus 6 is equals to 0. Then I can group them. I group these two and I group these two. So on grouping them now, I can take the common factor here and I can take the common factor here also. What's common between y squared and 3y? Y, right? So y is a common factor. If y goes into y squared, what will remain? Why? Because y times y will give me y square, right? If y goes into 3y, what will remain? Plus 3. You will notice that once you expand this, our year 8 factorization, you get back this. Y times this is y square. Y times 3 is 3y. Okay? Now, what's common between these two? Minus 2y and minus 6. The common factor there is minus 2. Okay? Minus 2 goes here to remain y. And minus 2 goes into minus 6. Minus going to minus will turn it to plus. 2 going to 6 3 times, which is equals to 0. Once you are solving a quadratic equation using factorization method, what you have in this bracket and this bracket must be the same. If it's not the same, you are wrong. Okay, so we can pick one of the brackets, which is y plus 3, which is a factor, and the other linear term that we use in getting that, which is the other factor, y minus 2 is equals to 0, right? And how can the product of this give you 0? It's either this is equals to 0 or this is equals to 0. So I'll have that either y plus 3 is equals to 0 or y minus 2 is equals to 0. So therefore y will be equals to minus 3 or y is equals to plus 2. But if you take note, remember we took the logarithm of both sides, right? So I cannot have a negative value for a logarithmic function. True or false? That's true. So I will consider only the positive value, which is y is equals to 2. So therefore, y is equals to 2. If y is equals to 2, let's go back to the equation that I say is the most important equation in solving this question, which is x is equals to y squared. So therefore also, x will be equals to y squared. Let me clean this part of the board. If x is equals to y squared, it means that x is equals to 2 raised to power 2, which is equals to 4. So for this particular question, therefore, x is equals to 4 and y is equals to 2. If after solving this question, you want to check if your answers are correct, just plug in this 4 and 2 into this equation to see if we get the same answer. Let's do that. If x is 4, y is 2, 4 plus 2, that will give me 6, right? And x is 4, so I'm having, let me break it down here. I'm having this as 4 raised to the power of 6, right? 4 raised to the power of 6 is 4 is the same thing as 2 raised to the power of 2 times the 6. So that will give me 2 raised to the power of 12, right? And y is 2, which is 2 raised to the power of 12. Do the same thing for the second equation. You should have the same answer. So with that, I hope I've been able to solve this Olympiad mathematics question. Don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. Remember, with Ezugo STEM Hub, your mathematics and science becomes easy, just like your ABC. Don't forget to subscribe again. See you in the next video where we'll solve more questions to make STEM and mathematics easy.